the Fleet Mag Celebrity Corner with DJ Pynk Dyamond. Today's special guest, Tiana Von Johnson.
So, Tiana Von Johnson, welcome to the Fleet Mag. I'm DJ Pynk Dyamond. I'm Fleet DJ's operation manager for the worldwide Fleet DJs as of this year, and I'm excited to see you again. I think this might be my third time seeing you, um, but it's always a blessing when I like the artist. I like what the artist brings. So,
Yeah.
what I want you to do first, before we get into the heavy duty questions, introduce yourself and tell us where you are from and
Excellent.
exactly who Tiana Von Johnson is.
Well, thank you so much, DJ Pink Diamond and Fleet DJs and everybody on this line for having me. I am Tiana Von Johnson, a motivational speaker, and now I'm a motivational artist, hailing from the Bronx, New York, BX Stand Up. And I'm just really a girl who decided to go for it, you know. I'm really people know me from being in business. I've been a bona fide entrepreneur for over 15 years, never worked for anybody in the last 15 years. I generated my first $1 million at just 27 years old, my first year as a bona fide businesswoman. And ever since that time, I've really just traveled the world, share my messages, shared my business tips, and really just been on my female master P. Really just launching products. I have my own magazine as well, Women Doing It Big magazine. I have my own handbag line, therarebag.com. I have over 25 best-selling books. I have so many products, so many things that I have going on, but the most important thing that we're here to talk about tonight is my movie that is now on Amazon Prime, and my album, which is being slowly released, but all the music is on my movie on Amazon Prime, The Motivator Volume 1 Therapy.
So, let's talk about your artistry in music, though.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. When did you actually get into music, or how were you introduced into music?
So my father was known as the record man. They called him King George. He was the
Okay.
person that was responsible for selling records to some of your biggest stars, Lauryn Hill, Biz Markie, the late Biz Markie, Kool Herc. My father would host record conventions down at the Mark Ballroom in New York City, and he would sell records on 125th Street. And I was that person, that little girl, his daughter, who was right there next to him selling records. And that's when I got introduced to artists like James Brown, Roberta Flack, the Last Poets. I mean, I'm 7 years old knowing all the Last Poets words. I don't know if I should have known those words. But but I was being introduced to music in a very special way. Not that I had any desire to do music, but I just loved watching my father hustle records, and watching all the DJs and just my father would have the classic, he would call them mint condition. I got mint teas. So like, T, this is he used to get so excited about these records. And I would just be there to watch him like his little protege. And I remember he gave me a promotion. And he was on one side of 125th Street. He said, T, I'm gonna get you your own table down the block. So I had my own table selling the $2 and $3, $4, and $5 records. So you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay. So here I was, 7 and 8 years old, selling records on 125th Street at my own station, making my own money. And then that's really where I got my start in the foundation of music. But then music escaped me. Of course, I understand music and I know music, but it wasn't something that I was doing. I was a businesswoman, bona fide businesswoman. When I started my career in real estate, I got a TV show deal on NBC called Powerhouse. I was the only Black female-owned real estate broker owner making millions of dollars on Wall Street. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna shoot this footage, and I did. Invested in my own money, invested in my own crew, got that footage sold to NBC Universal for my own show Powerhouse. And so I'm no stranger to television, but still music was not part of my plans until I started to go through this thing called life. And I started to motivate people all over the world. And I was kind of like being known as the motivator, right? And I went through some things, a lot of things. My son's father was murdered. left for dead in the Bronx. My
Mm.
mother stopped speaking to me for 10 years. I experienced the pain of haters and naysayers. As they say, life started life for me. I still had to maintain. I still had to be out there speaking and helping people and helping women. I have an organization called Women Doing It Big. So imagine this woman going through these things in life, but you still got to be motivational. So I had to really retrain my brain and teach myself, but it was something still missing. So just 2 short years ago, I had lots of success, live in a mansion, beautiful cars, kids in college. But there was one thing that was missing, Pink Diamond. One thing. I did not have a boo. Y'all pray for me. Didn't have a boo. And I realized now, I didn't know it then, but I realized now I was looking for daddy again. That father that was the provider, that was showing me the way, that was there for me. If all my brothers wanted Wendy's and I wanted McDonald's, oh, we were going to McDonald's. I wanted King George. I wanted my king. And instead of really asking God to send me or praying for the person that God had for me, I accepted a broken man, child. Ooh-wee, who broke me down to the lowest level of myself that I didn't know I needed to be broken down to. And I wish I can tell you this was 10 years ago. I wish I could tell you this was 15 years ago. No, this was the other day. Okay. About 2 or 3 years ago. But when that happened and I put this narcissist out, now I don't know if y'all have any experience with narcissists. A couple hands raising. But when I put this narcissist out and I found myself in this fetal position, I was like, I have to literally find my peace. I have to find it. I have to dig for it. People don't do the work needed to find your peace. I had a real serious decision to make. And that decision was, what are you going to do with this toxic energy that you're sitting in? What are you going to do with it? Because you get to choose. And one thing I'm big about, and I teach this all over around the world, we all have decisions. We get to choose. And in that moment, I had a decision to make. Am I going to sit in this toxicity or am I going to put it into something else? And in that moment, I realized I had to put it into something else, which ended up becoming the Motivator, Volume 1 Therapy on Amazon Prime, streaming to over 200 million households in the US and the UK. And I'm very, very, very proud of it.
Okay, so yeah, wow. So let me ask you this: when it comes to um, this music thing, right? Is there anybody particular, just one person, that you could possibly do a motivational music collaboration with?
You know, I was asked that question the other day. It's hard for me to answer that because I'm not a rapper. I'm not a singer. I'm a motivational speaker. And so when I think about who that would be, I mean, if I had to force it and just kind of pick folks, I mean, I would love to be on a stage with a Selena Johnson, a Erica Badu, a Chrisette Michelle, people with like messages.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just people that have your mind thinking about certain things, you know. That's kind of the space. I'm into like the Marsha Ambrosius, Lauren Hills, like I'm into the messaging. You know what I mean?
So that Erica Badu is I love me some Eric. I like Marsha Ambrosius too, but I think out of that where it's more motivational speaking, but in music form, I
Yeah,
really like Erica Badu. She's like bold. She's just I mean, it is what it is with
yeah,
her, and it's if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
right.
And I think she just recently posted something on Instagram like 2 weeks ago. I was like, man, she is so bold.
Yeah,
It's bold. So it's yeah, that I could see any of those with you for sure.
yeah.
Okay, so now, what do you love the most about being this new or just a music artist? What do you love about it?
I love b- now I'm able to share my message and give people hope. And not only that, I get to reach a new audience of people that may not have come to a business conference or branding workshop or some type of arena like that. I get to reach a person that is home, or someone said, hey, go online and go look at the motivator, or sis, I see you've been down. Go in here and watch this. I get to reach a certain audience that can really connect because of the music. And that's what I love. You know, for someone to say, wow, I listen to Find Your Peace every day. It's like, yeah, yeah, I want you to do that. I want you to do that. You know, I'm a beast. I love that. Yeah, that's how you should feel. I love being able to um um get people doing something. You know what I mean? That's what you should. A motivator is supposed to motivate you to do something,
Right.
motivate you for change, for growth, you know?
Now that you are this entertainer, right? How do you balance that with your current life? Because I ain't going to say family life because I don't know what's going on. So I'll say with your current life, how do you balance that?
For me, it's not a big shift because I'm already a motivational speaker. I travel all around the world. I've spoken to groups of thousands. I train thousands of women all around the world, men too. So being in front of groups and doing what I do as a motivator is not new. What is new is being on a stage and actually delivering this music is very new. It's very different. I'm excited to start to do that. I just started a record label. It's not a traditional record label. The Motivated Music Group is allowing me to now take other people's stories and craft similar music with visual album vibes. I love to direct. So I'm excited about kind of tapping into a world that has never been done before and let people, I guess people said I can't remember the Jay-Z song right now. Jay-Z, oh God, it escapes me, but someone said, oh, Jay-Z had a record like that where you kind of he takes you on this journey or this visual journey. I'm excited to let other people come into my record label and really just allow them to tell their stories through music. So I'm excited about that. One thing about me, and I've always been this way, even as a business coach, I love to see other people win. It's just part of who I am. It's part of my DNA. So coaching people and training people and being on stages is not new. Um, so really it just feels like another day in the neighborhood of Tiana Von Johnson world. Real talk. Like it's just another day.
Deep. Definitely kind of
And
deep.
what's so interesting about the movie is that the story actually starts with me being in the Bronx. Literally, I shot it in the Bronx where I'm from, and kind of take you on this journey where I go find myself at a church. And then I get to this church and I'm just really just kind of confessing and like all the things that I've gone through with my mother and my ex and everything. Then I come out of the church and I start to go through this whole journey. So everything you see ties to it. Every song immediately ties to the next visual. So when I leave the beast, you see me going into a classroom where I'm teaching people how to stop being too comfortable. I
Right.
tell people like I made $1 million, but I didn't make it sitting down. You too
Right.
comfortable. You keep hating on God's child, he gonna humble you. So I'm really breaking that down. Then I go from too comfortable to having $1 million mindset and what that looks like. Then I go to from this to vibe to so it really goes on this journey. And that's what's so interesting about it. And I'm so thankful that Amazon Prime picked it up to because it's never been done before. This is not traditional, right? This is not traditional music, if you will. This is not necessarily something you're going to hear in a club per se, but it's definitely something that is going to get people thinking again. If you get a curse or two, it's because I'm sharing what I really went through in that moment where I was cursing this man out. But it's not to say it in a derogatory way because I don't even talk like that. But really, Motivator is really just taking you on that journey. And I'm so excited for women all over the world to see it. We have women hosting watch parties all over the world. I love to come and do watch parties with women and really just talk about it. What do I want to do? Look, I'm taking over as the interviewer. What do I want to do with this? I
Listen
want
too.
I want to. It's the Tiana Von Johnson show on Philippe magazine. No, no, but I wanna play the movie and stop and start and talk to groups of women. Let's talk about what it means to be a beast. Let's talk about what it means to be two. Let's break this down. For me, a lot of DJs say, give me two songs or give me, and that's cool. And I don't mind sending a song or two, but what gets me is when someone say, Tiana, I watched that movie from track 1 through 18, and I watched how you bob and weave out of this thing called life, and I watched how you put it together, and wow, that's what I love. It's almost like signing up to go to therapy. You talk to the therapist for 5 minutes and you hang up. It's not the same as
Right.
actually going through the whole series of therapeutic sessions. And that's what Motivator does. Motivator takes you on that journey. Like I have real mother issues, like who's helping me? Who's talking about this stuff? Where's my mentorship? Who's guiding me on how to deal with a mother who doesn't speak to you? Somebody help me. Who prepared me for that? But I talk about that in my movie.
But what piece of advice would you give these young girls out here?
Ooh, you know,
Let's say 18 and below. Let's say 22 and below.
well, I can tell you that what I'm seeing, especially with social media, young girls, everybody's a content creator. In everybody's mind, they
Mhm.
could put content out and they're gonna make millions, and then they're just gonna go through this thing called life and chill.
Right.
And that's a big misconception, right?
Mhm.
Because we weren't doing that at 18. We was doing some stuff, but we wasn't showing it off to the whole world.
I was a mama at 18, so no.
We wasn't like, it's like, how do you expect to get employed? They are going to look at your social media
And they can get in there.
easily as soon as you put yourself in it. No, they are not hiring the bottle service girl to run their corporate. No, I'm just being honest. Like they're not. So it's like, where's the balance of the reality? We are so lost in social media, our young girls, that we not tapped into the real reality because everybody's a star and a model and a artist and not putting in that work. I even though I left corporate America at 25 years old, I pride myself on those years. I understood it to leave it. I didn't, my son, I remember my son said, Mom, I'm going to work at the pizza shop. I said, go ahead, please. Now you would think his mother being a millionaire, whatever, no, 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 go work at that pizza shop because there's something in that pizza shop you got to understand. My son was in there for about 3 weeks and was like, Mom, I'm ready to quit. Why are you ready to quit? Because you don't even understand he gonna tell me, oh, Mom, can you pick me up? Absolutely not. I don't work at the pizza shop. I don't work there. What you mean pick you up? Mom, can you come get me? Absolutely not. Ride your bike and figure out how to you took that job at the pizza shop. I say that to say that the younger generation don't really have a full understanding of the totality of life. And I win because I'm a visionary. I can see next year. I can see 2 years. Some people can't see past tomorrow, Pink Diamond. So
Mm.
and some people just don't see it. They can't see next week. They asked me earlier, do you sleep, Tiana? Not really. And I'm not saying I'm proud. Well, I sleep, listen, I'm 40 something. We never mind the something, right? But 9 o'clock, I'll be like, all right, y'all, I'm good night. But I'll get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning where God is pouring into me ideas, visions, thoughts. I got my laptop, I got my notebook, I'm journaling because my mind is always going. Um, so to leave these young girls with, have a balance. Like I could listen to ratchet music and I could turn up to it. If I have something with my girlfriends at my house and we turned up with our little Alice and we can have fun. But I'm not going to be on my live, on my posts, doing all of this and all of that with thong on because first of all, that's not who I am. And that's not what I want my sons to see. And that's just not what I'm demonstrating as a motivator. That's just not for me. So have a balance of what you're watching, what you're putting into your ear gates. Study it. It's okay to look at certain things. Like, yeah, I listen to it too. I love certain music too, but I'm not consumed by it and I'm not living by that. That's not my lifestyle. We not the same. So that's
Okay.
my that's my message to the youngins.
All right. it's good to know how, different people do different things.
Yeah.
Everybody's not the same, first
Yeah.
and foremost.
Yeah.
And I like your message how everybody isn't you. Everybody's not you. Everybody's not me. So for you to be successful or even be having a little bit of peace, right? You're going to do things now to make yourself happy. So if you can give us some closing comments, but I do thank you again for your time.
I will definitely leave you guys with something in closing that's near and dear to my heart. I don't want to bring the mood down, but it's very important to me. So in my movie, I talk about mommy issues. I talk about um my mother not speaking to me and kind of being a little broken behind that. And I also in the movie I asked my mother to just give me a hug and tell me you love me. When I went to put my movie out, my mother passed away. And it was a shock, you know. But when she was dying, she called on me and I had a decision to make. I got to choose to stay where in the same energy, which was you don't talk to me, haven't done it for 10 years, let me keep that energy. Or I had another decision that I could make. And that other decision was go to the hospital every day. That other decision was I gave her a pedicure. At, I manicured her nails. I washed her hair at her bedside, bought her a new wig so she could look pretty. It was very tough to do that, knowing the verbal abuse and the things that I've dealt with for a long time, to which made me separate myself. But making that decision was the best thing that I could have ever done. That was so freeing for me. Being able to rise above pain, rise above turmoil, hurt. Even with my ex and me writing my book and this project and talking about finding your peace, rising above it and sharing your story has been so freeing for me. So in closing, I'll just say that if there's anybody you need to make peace with, it doesn't mean that you have to be best friends. My mother and I, we didn't, there was a hug I was looking for. There was a I love you I was looking for. I didn't quite get that. But you know what? Watching her eat that meal I made for her, watching her look at her beautiful pink red nails after I finished giving her a manicure, things like that is something that I will never forget, you know. And I joke to my family, my mother always wanted to live with me. Her ashes are upstairs in my living room now. So she, mommy, you think you slick.
Mhm.
Um, but I say that to say that if there's anybody that you need to make peace with, if it's a situation that you can do that, if you ever are forced with a decision like I had to make, choose right, choose the right thing to do, what God will want you to do. And speak about your pains, share your story. You know, a lot of times we are closed and not and afraid. I'm telling you, the minute that man left, that I put him out, I wrote my book. Um, and let me tell you what's so interesting. This is not even the whole book. This is just the first chapter because I wanted to get this out. I wanted to let people know what I had just experienced. Putting my movie out. I just started filming my album a year ago, and a year later we're on Amazon. So you got to give God something to bless. So I just really ask, support me in this movement. You know, and these Amazon executives, they're watching the numbers, right? Just like the Fleet DJs documentary on Tubi, they watching. You know, in order for us to reach success and show these networks that we're here to stay, we need numbers. We need people to support. So I just really ask if anybody could find it in their heart to invest 14.99 on the movie and leave a review, a 5-star review that will just help for us to continue to get deals, to be able to push this music out to the world in a big way. We're in the US and the UK right now. And who knows, you know, where this can go with your support and your help. So if nothing else, please, please, please watch the full movie, leave a 5-star review. I really appreciate it.
Most definitely. Miss Tiana Von Johnson.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right. Bye bye.
For interviews, music news, and entertainment, go to thefleetmag.com.